If you go to minecraft.net/Minecraft tips for beginners, you will find a webpage full of articles and videos created by Mojang that are meant to teach new players about various parts of the game, from punching wood to using redstone. Now, if this sounds a little bit familiar, it's because way back in the legacy console versions of Minecraft, 4J Studios created the tutorial worlds, which was meant to teach new players about various parts of the game, from punching wood to using redstone. Or if you want a more recent example, Advancements and their goals are kinda meant to teach new players about various parts of the game, from punching wood to getting every status effect possible. Okay, maybe this one's a little less effective in actually teaching players, but either way, throughout the years, Mojang has been trying to teach players how to play Minecraft, from worlds to advancements to handbooks. And this year, they have added to that collection with 16 unlisted videos that you can only find through this website. 16 videos that are brand spanking new and have only been seen by a couple thousand people total. So, are they any good? But you know what is good? The sponsor of this video, Red Magic. Now listen, I know you guys are some epic gamers and you play things like Minecraft and Geometry Dash, evidently. But you can't always bring your PC on the go. That's why Red Magic created phones meant for gaming, with their newest installment being the Red Magic 9S Pro. First thing you'll probably notice is their ginormous screen with no camera holes, no bezels, and it completely fills the front of the phone for a perfect full screen gaming experience. The back is also completely flat with no camera bumps whatsoever, so you can hold it way more comfortably in your hands. And finally, the top has all the buttons, working shoulder triggers that can glow, and the bright red switch that turns the phone into gaming mode. Now this hub has a ton of cool features. If you swipe from the side on a game, it will bring up this menu. You can change things like the performance mode, screen record gameplay like this clip right here, and probably the most useful feature, notification control as you're playing games, so then things like this can't happen to you. Truly a tragedy. Anyways, remember those shoulder triggers from earlier? Well, you can actually customize what they do by moving these circles to any part of the screen. So for the first time ever, you could play Geometry Dash with shoulder triggers and be a top 1 shoulder trigger player. And there's still a ton of other cool features like an interactive home screen, a hidden front-facing camera that's tucked away behind the screen, you genuinely can't find it. And this lady, there's a woman in your phone. If you want the Red Magic 9S Pro for the best gaming experience on the go, click on the link in the comments. The tutorials are split up into 3 sections: getting started, for beginners, and level up. The first 5 videos are meant to be watched before you start playing Minecraft and cover things like different game modes, player controls, and surviving your first night. The first video does a pretty good job of introducing survival and creative mode to new players, so I honestly don't really have many complaints. The second video is titled How to Use Bedrock Controls, and it shows off all the different controls in the game, but specifically for Bedrock Edition, which is mentioned in both the title and the intro in the video. Like, they could have very easily just said Minecraft, but whatever, I guess Mojang doesn't really care about mentioning Java. In fact, none of these videos mention or show any Java gameplay, only being mentioned in the articles below, which are significantly older, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. The video was fine and still mostly works regardless of whether you're playing Java or Bedrock. Next up is crafting, and it's what you expect. Punch wood, make a crafting table, craft some tools, craft torches for nighttime, and build a box home. Seems pretty normal, right? Okay, keep that in your head though. The video after that talks about preparing for your first night by telling you to punch wood, make a crafting table, craft tools, craft torches for nighttime, and build a box home. These things tell you the exact same information. Okay, and the last video, how to survive your first night. Sleep.
Night isn't lazy, it's strategic.
In fact, I looked through the whole thing, and in a 70-second video telling you how to survive the night, there's a grand total of 7 seconds where you can visibly see the night sky. The entire thing takes place in this stupid tiny box house and then just rehashes more of the same information that you were just fed in the previous videos. And on top of that, in an entire video about surviving your first night, there's no mention of zombies, or skeletons, or spiders, or endermen, or witches, or any other hostile mobs. The only time they actually show a quote-unquote monster is a creeper in broad daylight in a video about surviving your first night. And these first 5 videos I would still consider the best ones, just because the concepts they explain are so simple that even if you mess it up, you can still get the gist of what they're talking about. If I had the power to change these in any way, I'd keep the first 3 videos as is and maybe change out the Bedrock for just Minecraft in the title and intro, and then just make a longer 4th video about surviving the night, maybe introducing some of the common mobs you might find like zombies, skeletons, creepers, and spiders, instead of just telling the player to coop up in a box and sleep. sleep. It's important to let new players know that the nighttime is just as important to the survival experience as the day, and not just something that should be skipped with a bed. I mean, nighttime is how you get some pretty important loot for aspects later on in the game, like bones for bone meal, string for fishing rods and bows, spider eyes for potions, and gunpowder for TNT or firework rockets. Okay, so these videos are all the things that Mojang wants you to know before you even start playing Minecraft. But after opening the game, what now? The next 5 videos are Minecraft tips for beginners, covering things from building to animals to biomes, and it kicks off with possibly the best video in the series. How to Build the Basics talks about everything from different kinds of blocks to different ways to plan builds and different example buildings at the end. It shows the player multiple approaches to the subject at hand, which is crazy to say after talking about a video that literally did the exact opposite. This is a pattern that continues for the entire rest of the series. Whenever there's a good video, the next video is absolutely horrible. And whenever there's an absolutely horrible video, the next one is really inoffensive and I can only talk about it for like 10 seconds because there's nothing really wrong with it. But this next video about befriending pets and breeding animals is probably the worst edited video of the entire series. Originally, I was gonna go into detail into every single editing mistake, but it got so bad that I straight up recut the entire video for it to sync better with the audio. So here's a quick fire round for all the changes that I had to make. This part at 18 seconds goes way too fast and doesn't line up with the video. This clip of taming a dog is out of sync by a solid 5 seconds. And this shot.
Carrots for pigs.
What the hell is this shot? You were just talking about breeding animals and now we're in the sky. Where are the pigs? Where are the carrots? And then you tell us to feed 2 animals and only show us 1. See, if this was done on replay mod, there would be close to 0 continuity errors. But since this is an official Minecraft video, they gotta pigeonhole themselves into using wacky Bedrock tools and record the whole thing on Bedrock Edition. The next video is about farming crops, and yeah, it's fine. It does a good job of telling you how hydration works, that you can find crops in villages or even punching seeds, and yeah, it's fine. It's honestly fine. And finally, this section of videos ends with a 2-parter talking about biomes. The first gives a brief overview of what biomes are and the advantages to exploring each, talking about their different features, resources, and mobs. The second video talks about 4 biomes and their different features, resources, and mobs. If that sounds familiar, it's because these 2 videos are exactly the same. The second part isn't really needed at all and could have probably been spent talking about things like, I don't know, generated structures, which the first video even alluded to. A video that goes through structures and their generation, their loot, unique mobs, and overall any other quirks they have. But no, we have to learn all about the ice spikes biome and how cold it is. Overall, this set of videos is way more of a mixed bag. When the videos are good, I don't even want to change a single thing about them. And when they're bad, well, I have to completely re-edit the entire thing, because sometimes shots don't line up, explanations are repetitive, but despite all of that, these 5 videos are still leagues better than... Now, oh boy, this last batch of tutorials promise that they're gonna take our experience to the next dimension, going through topics like building a base, creating interiors, playing multiplayer, and most importantly, Redstone, baby, because we're a Redstone channel. Make sure to subscribe. Yes, subscribe. If you thought the previous videos had misleading info and weird editing, this is the final boss of misleading info and weird editing. The first video is about enchanting, and the setup it shows you is, Dude, what the hell is this? For those who don't know, for bookshelves to actually work with an enchantment table, there needs to be at least 1 air block between the bookshelf and the table. And on top of that, you'll know if it's working if you see some glyph particles coming from the books to the enchantment table. What Mojang is showing off right here is the equivalent of telling a new player that this is a 2x2 piston door. And it's even funnier too, because when they start enchanting, it's still at level 1. The bookshelves aren't even doing anything, and there's no glyph particles, and it just looks really stupid. A few seconds later, we get slip up number 2, where you can see the game mode switching message in the top left corner. I don't know why they didn't just cut that part out, since the recording is literally long enough where the player steps back into the starting position and then moves to mine the lapis ore. The recording left plenty of time for the editor to cut that part out. The second video, How to Build a Base, is just the first building video but reworded. Not much to complain about aside from the fact that it feels like something we've already watched. Third video, another one about building, but this time it's about interiors. Like the other 2, it talks about block palettes and how it can set the mood, as the narrator keeps insisting in every single build video. But this gets back on topic by showing off different ways to use lighting and other blocks for decoration decoration and furniture, which, you know, showing off trapdoors as shelves, you know, that's pretty creative and good to tell a new player. And it also includes
tables from slabs and fences.
You know what's crazy? An entire Minecraft how-to series recorded on Bedrock hasn't even mentioned the market.
Check out add-ons from the Minecraft Marketplace.
God damn it. The next video talks about multiplayer. It's also fine, I guess. The only part that's a bit annoying is all this legal fine print that stays on the bottom the entire video. And the very last shot where the color grading just randomly makes the game look washed out for like 2 frames at the very end. I honestly don't really care. It chills realms and their featured servers. It does what it needs to do. Moving on. And finally, we have come to the part of the video that we have all been waiting for, baby. The Redstone tutorials. This 2-parter talks about both Redstone and command blocks, and they are both absolutely dog shit at doing it. The Redstone video intros with this silly red lizard creature. Honestly, it's pretty cute. I can't really complain. And the narrator telling us that Redstone powers mechanisms and can bring your creations to life. Good job. That's a great introduction to Redstone. 10 out of 10. And then they talk about power sources, pistons, and pistons. That's it. Now, okay, you may be thinking,
Crafty, the video shows all these other Redstone components on screen.
And to that I say, what is a new player supposed to get out of all of this? Okay, it's a rail thingy that goes back and forth, but like, what is a new player supposed to take out of that? And you know what the funniest part is? This video was going to go through more redstone components, and I know this because in the very last shot in the top left corner, you can see that a ton of redstone components are on display. The only other time that this set gets used is within the first few seconds of the video, but still, none of these components that are displayed ever get explained, so it's just clickbait. As a redstoner, it's a little disappointing how little they talked about other redstone components. I get that the series is supposed to be a very surface level introduction to Minecraft, but they could have easily done the bare minimum and show other things besides piston doors. Hell, they could have very easily made some disco floor with redstone lamps and boom, there we go, that's a second redstone build. And finally, the last video of the series, command blocks. And honestly, this is kind of a hard topic to cover in just a minute, so I'm gonna be a little bit nicer with my critiques of this video. It tells you that commands can do all sorts of things like teleport players, summon mobs, and change the time. Great, that's honestly a good way to broadly tell the player that commands can basically do anything. It shows you how to get a command block after the poor Mojang employee recording it fumbled the typing horribly. And yeah, I can't really complain too much about this video, honestly. So 16 videos later, some were pretty good at introducing the player to the topic and some were horribly edited. But has Mojang successfully taught new players how to play Minecraft? No, but that doesn't mean these videos are bad. Even after all my nitpicks, it can get new players interested in all the things Minecraft has to offer. Now, will people actually use it? Probably not, since new players are more likely to flock to YouTube for tutorials instead of using a site on Minecraft.net. And it's not something that's linked in either the Java or Bedrock edition as of writing this video. So who are these videos really for if you have to go to some obscure website to actually find them? In the past, Minecraft has taught new players with built-in tutorial worlds. In fact, that's how I started way back in 2013. The console tutorial worlds made players learn the basics in a small controlled environment, and then it let them explore a giant world where they can learn what they want in whatever order they want. I mentioned advancements in the beginning of the video, but they also function as an open-ended way for new players to try and problem solve and learn aspects of the game along the way. As a sandbox game with open-ended options, the learning process is best experienced when it's also open-ended. That's why exploring a tutorial world at your own pace works. That's why going for whatever advancements you want in a new world works. That's why people will look up tutorials on whatever they want, and that works. Players want to learn at their own pace instead of following a set series of instructions. Ironically, the best tutorials that Minecraft can make are none at all. And the best way to learn anything about Minecraft is to fuck around and find out.